I'll first calculate variations, and only when I'm sure that I have calculated enough variations and I know that all the variations are working, I would go forward and play them. Everyone, this is Aram Bhagavat and welcome to yet another video where I would be telling you how to solve chess tactics properly. And today we are going to try to solve maximum number of tactics on chess.com Puzzle Rush survival mode, and we are going to see how exactly we can solve these tactics in the best possible way. So with that, let us go to the screen of chess.com and let's try to understand how our tactics exactly solved. So this is the chess.com screen and it is the Puzzle Rush survival mode. So what I'm going to say now is I'm going to click on the play button, and today we are going to try to solve maximum number of puzzles in this one single video. So with that, let me just click on the play button and let's just get started. So here we go. This is the first puzzle. It is extremely simple, easy puzzle. I can play the move Queen H8 here and it's going to be game over. So I play Queen H8. Once I do it, you can see here the number is 1 and I have got the first signal. That is a 161 rating level problem which I have solved. Now the next problem here, I will first calculate variations, and only when I'm sure that I have calculated enough variations and I know that all the variations are working, I would go forward and play them. So I can play the move rook into b1 here. White will play bishop c1. I will take rook into c1, rook e1, rook into e1, checkmate. Pretty easy. Takes, checkmate. Okay, another easy puzzle. I capture his rook, he captures my rook. I capture his rook, he captures my queen, and finally capture his bishop, and it's a checkmate. So I take, and it's game over. Okay, another White plays Queen G3 but ignores the C2 pawn, and here if you see the C2 pawn is hanging as well as the A1 rook is also hanging. So I simply capture knight into C2. Black has a few options. Let's say he can play the move King D2. I will take knight into A1, and here it's very important to look for White's defense. White can play the move Bishop B5, but I have got it covered with C6. So if he tries to pin my queen, I can easily play C6 and his threat is of no use. So I just take, I get a full point. Okay, this is one move mate, so no brainer. I just checkmate, rook E1 checkmate. Okay, here again it is a two move mate. I can play rook H1 check. I go here, he puts his knight between, I capture, game over. As easy as it is. Okay, another two move mate we have here is the king is in the last rank currently, and right now all I need to do is see how I can checkmate the king. So here black can simply play the move rook b8 check. White can block rook c8 and I can simply take rook into c8, game over. So rook b8, rook c8, rook into c8, game over. Okay, again two move mate, bishop f7 check, king d8, knight e6 check, and checkmate. So as we proceed, slowly the difficulty of the puzzles is going to increase. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to start from easy puzzles. We have solved 7 puzzles till now, and going forward we'll slowly get to difficult puzzles. 26 mate. Okay, one move mate, no brainer. I will not explain it too much. Again one move mate, checkmate, game over. Again one move mate, game over. Okay, this is a little bit tricky. So we can play queen h5 check. Now if the king goes to f8 or king goes to e7, I can play queen f7 mate. And if black is a little bit smart, he will play the move g6, but I'll simply take a knight into g6. Now here he has two options. He can take my bishop or he can take my knight. If he takes my knight, I will take his rook, and if he takes my bishop, I will take his bishop. For those who didn't understand, I'll play it on the board. So queen h5 check. Now I play g6, I'll take the knight, and when he takes this, I capture his rook for free. I get some material advantage. One move mate, rook g5, game over. Easy. Here I'm winning a queen, so I can play the move h6, and if the king goes back or the king takes the pawn, I'll capture his queen for free. So it's over. Okay, here I can play two move mate, queen f6 check, king e8, queen e7 mate, game over. Okay, bishop f7 mate, easy. Here I again have a one move mate, queen g3 mate, so I'll just play the checkmate, game over. Okay, oh, this is very nice puzzle, very nice puzzle. So here you see the rook is attacking our rook. Now white has a couple of options. The black queen is also pressurizing the rook and also attacking the queen. Right now the queen cannot move because the queen is pinned. However, here black needs to understand how exactly he should continue, because otherwise he may have some troubles. So here the best move for black is just capture white's queen, and when the rook captures, just play bishop c5, pinning the rook, and now you see both rooks are supporting each other. That's a brilliant move. So just take and bishop c5. Now he gives a check, I play king b6, game over. Okay, I take his rook for free. Okay, another puzzle. Here we need to wait a lot. Okay, easy, queen e3 check, king g2, knight h4 is a checkmate. Okay, now if you're wondering how can I solve with such speed, and you might be wondering, but Hiram, it is possible for you to solve with such great speed, it's not possible for me to solve with such great speed. First thing, whenever you're starting out, do not worry about the speed. The speed will come naturally. First thing you need to realize is you have to get the answer right. If the answer is right, you do not need to worry about the speed. Once you become a master, once you start becoming a better player, automatically the speed will increase. So first, just solve a couple of these problems. You can make a list of moves. You can think about the problem for deep, for a long time. There is no time limit, by the way, for puzzle survival mode. And when you get the answer, then you can play the move on the board, and you will see that whenever you do that, you will get the right answer. So here again, I can play queen e3 check, king g2, and knight h4 is a checkmate. So I'm going a little bit fast, I know, but the reason is we have to solve a lot of puzzles, and because we have to solve a lot of puzzles, that's the reason I'm going a little bit fast. But going forward, I will try to explain these problems a little bit. This problem I'll just quickly tell you. So queen e3 check, king goes to g2, and I can play knight h4, and it is game over. So queen e3 check, king g2, knight h4 mate. Okay, again here we need to sacrifice our rook, so I can capture his pawn here. We'll take my pawn. Oh, now here we need to be careful because otherwise we may be in trouble. So here I was thinking about queen h3 check, but the problem is he will go back king g8, and after that, if I try to play bishop f6, then he will capture my g2 pawn and I can be in trouble. So this is the power of calculation. Once you realize that a move is not working, for example here the move rook into h7 is not working, now what should we do? So whenever the move rook into h7 is not working, or any move is not working, we should not get depressed. I see this with a lot of players that they are calculating something, and when their idea doesn't work, they simply get depressed. They say like, oh, my idea didn't work, so bad. But what they should be doing instead is, instead of getting upset, they should actually be very happy. And the reason for becoming happy is because they understood that they are making a mistake before making that mistake on the chessboard. So instead of getting sad that, oh, my variation didn't work, they should be happy that at least I didn't play it on the board. Otherwise, if I played it on the board, I would have lost the game immediately. So here the right move is the move bishop f6 check. Black can play king g8, that's the only move he has. And then white can play rook into h7. And if black takes queen into g2, now I'll simply take queen into g2, game over. And if it takes king into h7, I'll play queen h3 or queen h4. And after king g8, queen h8 is mate. So here he takes, and game over. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, this is a lollipop puzzle. Queen f6, game over, checkmate. Okay, this is again easy. Rook a8 check. He can play bishop d8 or rook d8. If he plays bishop d8, I'll take rook into d8, rook into d8, rook into d8, queen e8, rook into e8, mate, game over. So take over. Okay, another puzzle. We need to be careful because there are some things we cannot expect here. So here I have a move rook into f6. That is one of the ideas which come to my mind. Second idea is simply take h into g6. So if I take rook into f6, which seems like the most natural move, if black takes queen into f6, queen h7 is mate. And after rook into f6, if he plays the move rook d2, queen d2 check, I can simply pull back rook f2 and game is over. He can take my rook, but I will take his queen, and if he takes my knight, I will take his queen. Okay, game over. So done. Okay, another puzzle we play here. Okay. Now this requires some calculation. You can play rook f1 check, or okay, I don't see any other move. Maybe queen f4 check, maybe queen h6. I'm just brainstorming some options here. So rook f1 check seems like the most natural. Now he has a couple of moves. If I play rook f1 check, he can go king g7, he can go king g8, he can go king e8, or he can go king e6. So I have to consider all these potential options when it comes to calculating this move. So rook f1 check. Now if he plays the move king, oops, not king g6, sorry, king g7. So king e6, king g7, king g8, king e8. So if he plays king g8, I will simply take queen into g6 check. He goes king h8. Now I can play the move queen h6 check. He goes king g8, and I cannot play rook g8. That's what I was thinking, but that is not possible. So I need to rethink. Okay, let's come to the king g8 variation later. Let's first discard all the other variations. If he plays king e6, I'll simply take queen into g6. He goes back, I'll play rook f7 check. He goes back, I have queen g8 checkmate. And if he goes king e8, queen g8, rook e8, bg5 check. Okay, so it's very difficult to understand here without moving the pieces on the board, but that's what you should train. And this is another key point, as majority players, they keep moving the pieces on the board and then they wonder is why my calculation ability is not improving. The reason their calculation ability is not improving is because they're moving the pieces on the board. So for that reason, whenever you get a puzzle, do not move pieces on the board. It is very, very important to understand this. Okay. So we play rook f1. Now if he plays rook f5, I will simply take e into f5, and that is over. So he cannot play king e6. He can play king e8, but similar things are going to happen. I will simply take queen into g6. If he plays king d7, I would play rook f7 check, maybe rook e7, queen f5 check, and after that, this is really tricky. Okay, if you plays right now is I'm just thinking another key tip for you is if you're stuck on a problem, don't just guess and play the move rook f1. That is what majority players do. You need to think, find the solution first, and then when you're sure that okay, my solution is working, you can play the move on the chessboard. Okay, so I got some variations here. So first thing, let's discard the weak variations. So rook f1. If plays king g8, I will take this. If plays king h8, I will play rook f7. Okay, and now it's game over. Queen h7 and queen h6 mate is unstoppable. So you cannot play king g8, you cannot play king g7 because king g7 is again the same. If I play rook f1, he plays king g7. I'll play queen f6 check. He goes back, maybe king g8 or king h6, king h7 doesn't matter. I will simply take and again play rook f7. So that is easy. That doesn't work. We just saw that king e6 does not work. And for king e8, again I will take queen into e6 check. And let's say he goes king e7. Now here the important move is queen g7 check. And now white is winning. So let me show it on the board. So rook f1 check. He goes up. I take queen into g6. Now he plays this. Now it is very important again here to calculate the variation. So what exactly could I do? Here I can play the move rook f7 check, or I can play queen g7 check, or I can play queen f7 check. Okay, so I have multiple different checks and I need to choose which check is better. So if I play rook f7 check, he has a couple of options. He can play king c8 or he can play king d8. If he plays king c8, I'll simply play queen g8 check, rook e8, queen into e8 mate. And after rook f7 check, if he plays king d8, I'll play queen g8 check, or I can even take queen into d6 check. So both moves are possible. And after queen into d6, let's say he goes king e8, we have queen d7 check. If he goes king c8, we have queen d7 check. So after rook f7 check, he can also play rook e7. Now I have a couple of options. I can take rook into e7. I can play queen f5 check, and these are two options I can see. So I like the move queen f5 check. Now if he plays king c8, it's over, like rook into e7, I'm winning. If he plays king d8, I can play bishop g5, and if he plays the move king e8, then I can play rook f8 mate. So I'm winning here. For those who didn't understand, I'll just play it on the board. So rook f7 check. Now he plays this queen f5 check. He goes here and I take. Okay. So this was pretty confusing, but doesn't matter. We got it at the end. Now he plays this. This is pretty simple opposition. For those who don't know opposition, it's like a basic concept. You can learn it from literally anywhere. So you can just type opposition. Maybe I will make a video on it in the future, maybe not, I don't know yet, but it's a very simple concept. If you don't know it, it's a basic concept, so you should know it. Okay, so white can take rook into f8. Now black can play king h7. I can play bishop e4 check, g6, and rook 1 f7. So pretty basics, pretty simple. Okay, let's go forward. I can play, oh, this is like a no-brainer. So one more mate. Very good. Okay, this is one more mate. What is this like? Okay, this is a very funny problem. I don't know how this position came on the board, but it doesn't matter. So I can play the move rook h1 check here. He can play queen e1. I can take rook into e1, king into e1, and then capture his queen for free, and I will win the game. So that's good. Okay, chalo. Now he plays queen b3. I can play rook h6, threatening queen h1 mate. And I don't know how he's going to stop the mate. Maybe rook h3, but I'll take. Maybe bishop f6, but I will again take. So I don't know what he will do. Yeah, let's take, win. Okay, pretty basics. I take and play queen d4 check. Game over. Nothing special here. Okay, again basics. Knight g6 check, takes, queen h6 check, queen h5, queen into h5 mate. So this is going pretty well. Let's see how it goes. Okay, one more mate, no brainer. Okay, again one more mate. No, sorry. Okay, so rook d3, I thought it's a mate, but he can play king e5, and after that there is no mate. So I need to be careful. So I have a couple of options here. Okay, I can see a mate. So rook d3 check, king goes to e5, rook c5 check, king goes to f4, g5 is end of today's play. Okay, this is nice. So I can play queen a5 check. He can play knight c3. We can play d4, and knight is gone. Okay, knight is gone. He plays queen c5, queen c4, trying to scare us, but doesn't matter. Just take his knight. Okay, 35 problems solved till now. No mistake, guys. All of us have done it correctly. So those who are solving with me are going to benefit a lot from this entire thing. If you solve with me, you are going to get great results. So please solve with me. So let's keep moving ahead. This is the 35th puzzle, as I told you. So let's keep going ahead. So he can play rook f8 check here. He can go king e2, or he can go king e3, or he can go king e4. He has multiple options. Okay, what else can we play here? Do we have any other move? So I don't see here we have any other move. And right now, if I see the material situation, I can see like white has a rook for a bishop and a knight, and if we capture his bishop for free, then the game is going to be over. So we can play rook f8 check. Now his rook is hanging, so if he plays something like king e3, I'll capture his rook for free. So he cannot do that. He has to play king e2, and if he plays king e2, I'll simply take queen into g4. But after rook f1 check, he has another move, that is bishop f5. He can play the bishop to f5, and here I need to be careful. But here I can simply take rook into f5, queen into f5, rook f8, and he can not play e7 because his queen is hanging, and after that he will lose the game. And if he takes queen into f1, queen into f8, I will take king into f8, game over. So that's how it works. Okay, just take, okay, wait. Always wait and see if your answer is right. We can take rook into f5 here as one idea. What else can we do? We can play queen h5, check, but that is not so great because maybe you can play g4 or maybe what else? Yeah, g4 you can play and I don't like it. So rook into f4 is great. If he takes, then what to do? Because he's going to threaten the move e7, but doesn't seem too scary. I'll simply play queen g4 check and capture his rook. So okay, going great. Chalo, good. We have solved this one as well. Let's go to the next one. h5 here, a lot of moves. Knight f5 seems like an amazing move to me. Threatening knight h4 check, threatening knight e6 check. And if he takes knight into f5, I'll play rook e2 check, queen into e2, queen into e2, rook f2, queen e4 and capture the knight for free. But let me decide which one to play. Should I play knight h4? Should I play knight f4? If knight h4, what will he do? Let me think. He can ignore the threat by playing, let's say, queen f2, and I don't think there is any attack. So that's not the right move. So the right move is, I guess, the move knight f5, and after that the game is over. I don't know how he is really going to save all these threats. Maybe he's going to play rook d3. That is one last option. But if he plays rook d3, I'll take knight into g3, and at least I'm winning a piece. So it takes, check, and game over. Okay, this is a check, so I have to do something. I can play rook d7, I can play bishop d7, I can play king f8. 3 moves: rook d7, bishop d7, king f8. Now I need to choose which move is right. Okay, let's calculate together which move is correct. I can play king f8. If I play king f8, he can play f into g7, king into g7 can be played, or I can even play king g8, where he has to deal with the threat of queen f7 mate, and even queen e8 is a powerful move. Queen into f1 is a powerful move. If he plays bishop d6 check, I can take bd6, or I can even play king g8 again. So many options. Okay, I can take bishop into d6. If king f8, bishop d6 check, bishop into d6, he can play knight into d6. Okay, pretty interesting. What can I do after that? That is a big question. So maybe king g8 there, and we have to play with that. Okay, what about bishop d7? Bishop d7 seems like the most natural move, but he can play queen e4 check. And I don't like this check at all because I have to go inside, that is king f8. And he has one more check here. After bishop d7, he can also play knight d6 check, counter blue. I don't know if it works, but I need to calculate that as well. So you can calculate with me if you're watching this till this point. If you're pretty serious about this, calculate this seriously. So king f8, now bishop d6 check, I can take, or I can play king g8. If it takes, I can again play king g8. And there are so many threats that I have that I don't know how he's going to stop all the threats. Yeah, so king f8 is the move. Okay, now he takes. Now he should not take. This is a mistake. If we take this, I don't know what white is going to do, but it seems very risky. Bishop h6 is coming, bishop e5 is coming, queen h6 is coming. Very difficult. So simply play king g8 and game is over. What is this? Okay. Okay, that was a desperate try from the white player. So here it is again white to play. Okay, here is the white to play. Last position was black to play. So what should I do here? Okay, I have an idea. I can play queen f8 check, knight g8, h6, and how do you stop the queen g7 mate? Impossible. So game over. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I have a move knight f4 here, threatening queen g2 mate. Otherwise I can play queen into h3, another move. So I can play knight f4, and here if he plays queen e4, I need to be careful, because if I'm not careful here, I may lose the point. So I can play knight f4 here. I alternatively can also play rook e8. Rook e8 or knight f4, both moves are working. So both moves are potential moves, and I cannot say they're working, but they're potential moves. So let's say knight f4. Now he plays queen e4, let's say. Now what can I do? I can play knight into h3 maybe. King h2. Okay, and what to do? Okay, I have an idea. So we can play knight f4 check. He can play queen e4 and play knight into h6 check. The only move he has is king h2, and now we take knight into g4. Now the point is the queen is attacked, my queen is supported. So if he takes my queen, I'll take knight into f3 and then capture the e1 rook. And if he plays the move queen h4, then I need to think seriously, but I'm already 2 pawns up, so I don't think this is a big deal. I can easily crack this position. I can play rook a e8 and slowly win the game. Okay, let me see if I can find something better. I think this is the best thing I can do for now, right now. Play f5 because queen g7 is mate. Okay, so this is the answer. There is no other way here. Okay, now he takes queen into f3, so it's a jackpot. Now in the game, sometimes your opponent doesn't notice the options and you simply win. Okay, so lollipop puzzle, queen h6 check, king g8, knight f6 check, king h8, queen h7 mate. Easy. Okay, knight b3 check, a b3, rook into da, a d1 checkmate. So pretty easy puzzles. Okay, now some puzzles are very hard, some puzzles are very easy. That is the chess.com algorithm. We cannot help it. We cannot tell which puzzle is easy, which puzzle is hard. Okay, so again another very easy puzzle. I simply play knight g2 check, he plays king e2, I play bishop g4 check, and that's a checkmate. And if knight g2 check, he goes king d1, I play rook f1 check. Okay, rook f1 check is a mistake there. We have to play bishop g4 check. He has to go king c1, and then we have to play rook f1 check. So pretty simple. Okay, done. Let's do one more. So we can play rook 3 f2 check. King goes to h3. Now I can play rook h1 check, or I can play rook h2 check. Okay, I need to think about this one. This is a little bit tough. By the way, 43 puzzles done till now. Can we reach 50, guys? What do you think? Okay, so I think I've got the answer. So rook f2 check. He has to play king h3. I can play rook h2 check. He has to go king g4. I can play h4 check. He has to go king g5. And finally, I have this one move, rook g1 checkmate. So okay, one move and they gave me the full point. Okay, pretty easy, I think so. Rook h7 check, king b5, rook c5 check, king a4, rook 7 takes a5, king b3. Yeah, got it. Okay, so rook a7 check, king b5, rook c5 check, king a4, rook 7 into a5, king b3, knight d2 check, king has to go to a2, and now rook c2 is not possible. Thought rook c2 would be a checkmate, but unfortunately we have the queen there. Okay, this is really hard puzzle, not easy at all. So rook a7 check, king b5, rook c5 check, king a4, rook 7 into a4, king b3, knight d2 check, king a1, and here you need to find this brilliant move. Only if I find this brilliant move, then I can get the answer. And that brilliant move here, what I believe is rook c1. Rook c1. And the idea behind the move rook c1 here is I want to play rook a1. That's going to be a checkmate. But the problem is I still have one problem. He can play rook into g3, where he can create some problems for white. If I take king into g3, he will play queen f4 check. So maybe there first I need to play rook into a5 and then maybe rook c1. Okay. Yeah. So the great thing is after rook c1 he cannot play rook into a5 because the rook is pinned. and I don't know how he is going to actually stay away from mate. So I can even play rook into a3. If b into a3, I would play rook c1, and now again rook a1 is a mate, unstoppable. Okay, so I've got the idea. So rook a7 check, king goes here, check, king goes here, check, king goes here, knight d2 check. Okay, they gave me the solution there, but actually after knight d2 the solution starts, because after king a2 you can play rook into a3, that is also winning, and after king a2 you can also play rook c1. You cannot play rook into g3 because the rook is pinned. So very nice puzzle. So to solve such difficult puzzles, all you need to do is a little bit focus, and majority people, they lack that focus. They do not understand that they need to focus. All they think is, okay, how can I solve the problem quickly? Well, that is important, but that is only important after you become a very strong player. At the start, you should only focus on getting the answers right. So here I can play the move c5. That is one of the ideas. Okay, what else can I do? I can play the move bishop a6. Okay, so here I can play the move c5, or what else? Maybe bishop a6. Okay, here I can even take queen into a3. That is, I'll win a pawn and then go ahead, which is a decent option in my opinion, because other things I don't know what is going to happen. If I play c5, white can play the move knight e6, and after knight e6 I don't know what I can do. I can play d4 maybe, maybe not. This is tricky. This is nice. I love it. So the catch here is black is a piece down. So black is a piece down right now. If I play c5, if you try to play the move d4 and go ahead. If he takes c into d4, I'll take c into d4, but knight into d4 again is issue. Maybe queen into a3 is the best try. I don't know what this problem. I'm completely confused here. This problem is very hard for me. So if queen a3, you will play knight e6. Idea is to play queen g3, rook g7, rook g7, queen g7. Very tough. So what to do? Maybe c5, but again knight e6 is coming. So maybe to stop the move knight e6, first I can play bishop c8. If knight e6, I can play rook into e6, f into e6, bishop into e6. But the problem is I'm already a piece down. Maybe queen g3 can play bishop into g5, bishop into g4, rook queen into g4, queen into a3. So that is possible. Bishop e1, knight into c6 is also coming. Rook e1. No, that's disaster. I think I should take queen a3. I am getting a feeling there is no other way out. Just take queen a3 first. But what if knight e6? Could I play bishop h3? Bishop h3 seems nice. Yeah, he can go king d1, but I will take bishop into c3. So queen into c3, and if he takes knight into c6, then I will immediately play bd3. He has to go back knight d4, but then rook c7 can come. But the problem is after bishop a3, if he doesn't move, if he just plays queen g3, bishop d3, doesn't make sense. Okay, it's too hard. Okay, I don't know. So I'm going to take a guess of queen into a3. I don't know if it's going to be right or wrong, but let me take a guess of queen into a3. Okay, so our streak has ended after 45 puzzles. We couldn't complete 50 puzzles, but never mind. I hope that this particular puzzle rush has given you a lot of insights about how to solve puzzles, how not to solve puzzles. So going forward, I would be covering many more topics in the upcoming videos. Till that time, keep practicing and keep watching every video which is uploaded, every video of mine of course, which is uploaded every single Tuesday. So till that, keep practicing and love chess. Bye bye.